All right, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that Kuro Games has once again blessed us with some news in regards to the Wuthering Waves 2.6 new region. And we all know that this update is one that a lot of people are hyped for, so let's just go ahead, let's get right on into it and see what Sanguis Plateau has in store for us. And just one thing to keep in mind is that apparently there's like a minor spoiler somewhere in this breakdown, and so maybe we'll blur it, maybe we'll just skip over it. It is what it is. You know how the main quest is going to be split into two parts, right? One focused on Augusta and one focused on and so I don't think it's actually really a spoiler if you paid attention to the live stream, but just keep that in mind. So yeah, Sanguis Plateaus. The Sanguis Plateaus serve as both Septimontians' hunting grounds, which is why we're going on the hunt, and the first line of defense against the Dark Tide. On these magnificent yet bleak islands, the Blight Cloud, I assume it's all this shit, the Blight Cloud hovering above stirs relentlessly. Here, power and glory reach their peak and then give way to bloodshed and death. Ooh, so a lot of battles, eternal battleground sort of deal. Seems like a very sort of fun spot to be. Sounds like a wonderful place to begin the next part of our adventure. So now we got the area events. The first one is going to be the Hunt of Ash and Steel, an exploration event. And so over here, you're going to see that the rewards are going to be quite substantial. For a simple exploration event over here, we're gonna have 500 astrite, a bunch of gold mats, which should probably be useful with all the new characters and weapons coming out, as well as some forgery premium supplies. So if you haven't done all of your farming for Augusta and yet, especially on those skill mats, well, this will be a nice way to catch up. Looks pretty good. They're also gonna have the Travel Atlas. And so this one is just going to give you astrite and some tuners. Very simple rewards, but I'm sure it's everything that people are looking for. Next is going to be Prince of Plateaus, a photo collection event. And I guess this is just something that we have for basically every single region. You know, you just go ahead, you take some photos. These ones actually don't expire, and so if you don't do them, you can always go back and do them later. And I think that's part of the reason for why the rewards for them are like so low. You get like a 1 pull for doing this, but you know, it is permanent, so it is what it is. Next up, we got the main quests. And so this is gonna be Chapter 2, Act 8 by Sun's Burning Hand. And so we kind of got like a bit of a teaser for what's going to be happening. We all know that Rover's going on a hunt with Augusta and And so yeah, that's why Effer Augusta is inviting us to Sanguis Plateau for the fateful hunt. And basically the idea is the results of this hunt are going to have a big impact on Septimon's future. And the thing is that people are gonna call the next breakdown a bit of a spoiler, because they're like, wait, if they're giving a description about Chapter 9, which is after Chapter 8, then clearly Chapter 8 ended without like everybody dying or something like that. And so I guess what this means, right, is that the issue on the hunt is going to be resolved because there's a quest after this. Because I guess if the hunt failed, then the story of the game would be over. So yeah, this is going to be the next chapter quest that comes out. It's going to be obviously naturally focused on and people are saying, oh, well guys, it's a spoiler because they opened with the word with the crisis resolved. So yes, we resolved the issue over here because there's a main quest afterwards. That's, I guess, the main spoiler. We won't read too much of it just because I feel like somebody's naturally going to get upset, but that's the spoiler, essentially, that people are talking about. Now, let's move on. We got some of our new locations. First one is going to be the Hunter's Den. And so I actually find the naming of this one to be pretty apt. Hunter's Den is great to me because it actually gives me, this one region over here, really gives me some Monster Hunter vibes with like how it's designed. If you've played like Monster Hunter Wilds or even like Monster Hunter World, I think that like the whole like getup that they have going on over here is a bit of a callback. Next, they're gonna have the Asphodel Barrens, and this is the area that I said basically just seems like Claire Expedition 33 obscure. I said the name wrong and out of order, but it is what it is. Yeah, this is like the first area in Claire where you got like the whole like the very like pink, almost like maroon sort of like motif, as well as the like the mountaintops in the cliffs. It looks good. I like it. So yeah, more excited for that. Next is gonna be Murmurs Town, and this to me is like literally, it's like a Dark Souls 3 sort of area. This looks awesome. I really like the whole like very like desolate sort of environment with almost like the minerals coming out of the ground. This just screams to me like Dark Souls 2 or Dark Souls 3, not necessarily Elden Ring. And yeah, I think it's a piece of geography, a piece of environment that Wuthering Waves was going to benefit a lot from. Next up is going to be the 3 Heroes Crest. And this bad boy over here is, I mean, it's like a gigantic bowl, and it looks like hell outside. And I'm going to be honest, one thing that it looks like Sanguis Plateau is doing really well is that all of these areas look dramatically different from each other. It is kind of like, holy moly. The environments are just wildly varying between pretty much all of them. And when we go on to Maroonwood, I mean, let's just be honest here. This is like high fantasy at like its fucking peak. If you were to tell me that this is what the game looks like after seeing what it looked like in like 1.0, what it looked like in Jinzhou, I'd almost be saying that you're like lying because of like how, I'm just gonna be honest, this just looks, you could put this in another game. You could put this in so many other titles, and it wouldn't look out of place. But the fact that it is in Wuwa, I think it's a testament to something that I personally been enjoying a ton with the game. It's the fact that it seems like Wuthering Waves, with each new region that's going to be added to the game, is going to take on like a different sort of like genre. Where Jinzhou felt like post-apocalyptic, it felt like destruction, it felt like rebuilding civilization. While over here, it feels like you're literally exploring like a new high fantasy sort of world, right? With some dark elements, naturally. But, I mean, my oh my. What can you really say about the quality of this game's environments when this is all coming in just one update? All of this in just one update, right after version 2.42. Probably gonna have to expect a lot more in the future. Now let's move on. We got the Dreams of Cinder Tides. All right, unlock the Dreamscape nodes and clear the nightmare sealed within. There are 3 challenges. All right. Okay. Wait. Wait. That's where the combat events are. Wait, so there are actually combat events. I guess they're just built into the new region. Yeah, this is like 3 difficulties. That's pretty substantial because I'm assuming there's going to be more than one of these. And so these should be like scattered across the map. These should be like scattered across the map. I'm imagining that there are multiple. There are 3 difficulties for each one, and I assume a healthy set of rewards. So, why don't they show this during the live stream? Why don't they? The combat events were in this update. They're just built into the new map. But they don't show any of this shit. And then, I mean, I understand it, right? It's to get us hyped about stuff. But one of the biggest points of critique that people have had is the fact that there weren't any combat events in the last update. And there didn't look like there were any in this update. I'm gonna be honest, I felt like this should have been shown in the live stream. And there are some people saying, right, oh, they've already done this before. They had Dreamscape challenges before, where you have like a set of criteria that pop open on the side that you need to complete for like an S rank and to get all the chests. This is literally interactables in the overworld that have 3 different stages that you complete. That's literally just a permanent combat event built into the exploration. This is gonna be permanent too. I almost guarantee that this is going to be permanent as well. So it does look like they're here. So I guess we all just got baited and switched. What else do they have? Marks of the Wild. Okay, so this is what they decided to show on the live stream instead of the combat events. This was like advertised on the fucking live stream instead of the combat stuff. Brother, these are... Why do you think Wuthering Waves players are playing the game? Right? Is it to do this? Or is it to do this? Show both of these activities to the average Wuthering Waves player, and which one do you think they'll be more excited to see? I think I know the answer, and I think I know that it's an overwhelming answer. I think the devs literally just trolled, or they fucked up. Like, what are they doing? What the priorities just seem jumbled up. Like, we're gonna talk about a photo event. We're gonna talk about every other event that's in the update except for this shit. Huh? It is what it is. It's whatever. I'm just glad that my disappointment has been addressed, but it spawned another point of disappointment, which is, what the fuck are they what the fuck did they do during the live stream if this didn't make the cut? All right, what else do we have? I guess that's it. I guess that is it when it comes to this. And I'm not saying that's it from the perspective of, oh, this region looks bland or it doesn't look like there's that much stuff. I mean, that's it from the perspective of, I thought there was going to be more shit that they didn't fucking announce during the live stream that they were going to announce here instead. But it does look like Dreams of Cindertides is actually the main one. And it looks pretty good. I'm wondering how varied the challenges are going to be and how difficult they're actually going to get. This looks somewhat tanky for being the first difficulty, and you're going to have at least 3. We'll just see how many of those there are. So, yeah, I guess the devs did, in fact, listen. They just listened in a very, very unique and deceptive way. And with all the stuff that's coming in Sanguis Plateau, all the stuff that's coming in version 2.6, I think it is pretty clear that this region is going to be massive. This region is going to have some great environments, and it's going to be a pretty satisfying experience as a whole, just like how most, if not all, of the exploration of Wuthering Waves is. And I think it's important to keep in mind that this might actually be the last region expansion that we have in Septimont for like the rest of time. I think there's like one little sub-region that's left, but it does seem like the story's wrapping up with whatever happens in 2.6, and then 2.7 is going to be the big sort of like conclusion. And so, yeah, I would just say with the addition of this, 2.0 has been, in a lot of ways, one of the best, like, 2.x version updates in, like, the history of gacha. With how much larger the game has gotten, how many more new areas, different forms of gameplay, unique sort of, like, mechanics that they put in, it's looking really good. Can't wait for what 3.0 has in store. So, yeah, that'll be that, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you all think about this one, and peace.